Hi folks, I'm Chris Marshall with Woodworker's Journal magazine. Whenever you're making long rip cuts on solid stock or working with sheet materials like this, some form of outfeed support behind your saw is essential, both to help you work more safely, to keep your balance when pushing those long work pieces through, and to prevent your offcuts from falling to the floor and back of the saw. Now you could use a roller type outfeed stand, but those really don't provide a lot of support and they're not always very stable on the floor. A much better solution is a tabletop form of outfeed support like this. And it not only benefits your sawing, but any other task around the shop you want to use it for too. That's exactly the kind of versatility we're building into this multi-purpose outfeed cart project. It definitely has outfeed support, plus a heavy-duty cart with lots of storage capacity underneath on rolling casters. Who can't use a project like this? Let me give you the nickel tour. For starters, this 42.5-inch by 52-inch worktop is almost bulletproof. It's made up of 2 layers of 3/4-inch MDF on the inside with a layer of plastic countertop laminate on top. The laminate makes it slick and abrasion resistant, so it's a good choice behind the table saw, but the laminate also resists glue spills in most finishes too. We've designed the top of the cart with a 12-inch overhang on one end, so you can push the cart right up behind your table saw, even if its dust port is in back. I've also cut a pair of 1-inch wide, 12-inch long miter slots into the top of my cart, so I can use it in tandem with my crosscut sled or miter gauge without interference. You can skip these slots if they're not a priority for you, or if you want to use this cart for another application. And that brings me to the second special purpose for this cart. We're dedicating it to being a full-service project assembly station. Just check out this storage bay here. On one end, I've installed this heavy-duty 12-gauge extension cord reel from Rockler and a power strip. That way I can plug in my battery chargers, my air compressor, or other small corded power tools. Now ordinarily on these extension cord reels, the extendable end has a 3-receptacle female plug on it, but I spliced on a male plug instead. That way I can extend my power cord up to 30 feet around the shop and I don't have to move the cart that way. It's really handy. On the other end of the reel, I installed a female plug for plugging in my power strip. And on this end of the bay, I've hung a rewinding air hose reel. It's got a short section that connects to my air compressor and 20 feet of rewindable hose, and they're really easy to find online. That way, if I need to do some brad or pin nailing on top of the cart or really anywhere around the shop, my hose will reach and I don't have a tangled mess of it on the floor where I can trip over it. Now, I've got a pretty compact 1-gallon air compressor here that takes care of pretty much any nailing task I need. But if you have one of these more common 6-gallon pancake-style air compressors, that'll fit on this shelf too without any modification. And under the compressor bay, we've got 2 drawers that hang on full extension drawer slides from Rockler. Here's a perfect place to store all of your table saw accessories: dado blade box, spare throat plates, guard, feather boards and other safety devices, what have you. You'll never have to search for those table saw accessories again. And these drawers are built tough. They've got corner joinery, that's simple rabbet and dado joints, and full 1/2-inch thick plywood bottoms. So go ahead and load these drawers up. They can take it. And over on this side of the cart, the storage capabilities of this project just keep on growing. Up top, there's 2 full-length drawers that ride on full extension slides. And since I'm using this project as an assembly station, here's where I'm storing all of my bins of fasteners: flathead wood screws in various sizes, carriage bolts, lag screws, washers and nuts, my collection of dowels, and pocket screws. And in this drawer, I've got a set of drill bits, all my cordless driving tools, and some spare air nailers. And down below in this open bay, there's room for tool cases and tool bags, my extra gallons of glue, and all my gluing supplies. Everything I need for assembling a project short of clamps. But maybe you don't need Outfeed support for your table saw or an assembly station. No problem. A multi-purpose cart like this could be used for just about anything in the shop. Maybe you need a better workstation for all of your benchtop tools, your dovetailing jig, drill press, your collection of sanders, or a miter saw. The project is large enough and strong enough to support all of these tools. And if you keep the cord rewinder as part of the design, you'd have a convenient place to plug them all in. So take stock of your shop needs, and then have a closer look at our multi-purpose Outfeed cart plans. Then consider building one to suit your needs. I bet you'll be glad you did. Thanks for watching.